The priest cuts your umbilical cord with an obsidian blade. Before you take your first breath, he buries it in the dirt alongside a tiny shield and 4 arrows. You were promised to war before you were promised to life. You're 12. The Telpuchcali smells like sweat and copal smoke and something metallic you can't name yet. 40 boys sleep on reed mats so thin you can feel the stone floor through them. Your hair is shaved to nothing except a single lock at the back of your neck. The piochtli. Every boy has one. You wear it until you earn the right to cut it. Until then, it marks you as what you are. Untested, unproven, nothing. Your instructor doesn't teach gently. He's missing 3 fingers on his left hand and doesn't explain how. He hands you a maquahuitl, a flat wooden club lined with volcanic glass sharp enough to take a man's arm off at the elbow, and watches you swing it wrong for an hour. Then he walks over, repositions your grip with his 2-fingered hand, and says one sentence. The blade doesn't care if you're afraid, but the man you're swinging at does. You train for years. You sweep temples. You haul firewood. You practice against a wooden post until your arms stop working, and then you practice some more. The older boys hit you when you're slow. Not punishment, education. This is what it feels like to get hit. The lesson underneath the lesson is that getting hit is survivable. Fear of getting hit is the actual enemy. You watch the real warriors walk through the market in their cotton armor and feathered headdresses, and the crowd opens up for them the way water moves around a stone. The jaguar warriors wear their suits like a second skin, the dried head of a jaguar over their own heads. The eagle warriors are worse somehow, the great bird helmet framing a human face, eyes looking out through the open beak. You want that so badly, it feels like something physical, a hunger that lives below your sternum. Rank 1, Telpuchcali Youth. At 15, you go to your first battle. You're assigned to a senior warrior with 4 captures to his name. Your job is to carry his spare darts and watch. That's it. Watch and carry and don't get killed, because a dead apprentice is an embarrassment and a waste of the priest's paperwork. The battle is a flower war, a Xochiao Yodel, against warriors from Tlaxcala. Not a war for territory, a war for prisoners. Both sides know this. Both sides agreed to it in some formal sense you don't entirely understand yet. What you understand is the noise, drums and conch shells, and the shriek of clay whistles, and underneath all of it, the sound of 200 men screaming as they close the distance between formations. You're standing at the back with the other apprentices, holding darts, watching your warrior move forward with his maquahuitl raised, the obsidian blades catching the morning light like teeth. The apprentice to your left is from your school. He's the color of the inside of a fish. You probably look the same. Your warrior takes a Tlaxcalan fighter to the ground in 40 seconds. Leverage and timing and the calm application of the fact that he has done this before. The prisoner is bound with a cord pulled from his belt like he expected exactly this outcome. He hands you the darts back. He looks briefly satisfied. You have contributed nothing except your wide eyes. 3 more battles of carrying and watching before they let you try. 3 battles learning the geometry, where you put your feet, how close is too close, when a man is about to commit to a strike and when he's still deciding. Most men telegraph their intentions by about half a second. Half a second is a very long time when obsidian is moving toward your face. By the 4th battle, you're in the line, 3rd row. Your wooden sword has been replaced with a real maquahuitl. The man you're supposed to capture is bigger than you expected. They're always bigger. He deflects your first strike like a minor inconvenience. He grabs your weapon arm, and you use the momentum wrong, and for 4 seconds, it's 2 people trying not to become the prisoner. You lose. He takes you to the ground, binds your hands, walks you to the Tlaxcalan lines. Your first battle as a combatant lasts 4 seconds. The youth lock stays. The shame of it is useful. You replay it constantly. The angle where you lost leverage. The moment you forgot to protect your weapon arm. You go back to the training post for 6 more months, and you think about that man's grip every time you swing. Rank 2. Tlamani, first captive. The second attempt. You're 17. The target is smaller, faster, fighting from a defensive crouch your trainer described exactly 2 weeks ago. You break it. Not cleanly, not with grace, but you get the man down and your knee on his back and the cord around his wrists, and you're breathing so hard you can barely speak, but you say the ritual words anyway. The declaration that you have taken this person, that he belongs to the sun, that the debt is acknowledged, he doesn't resist, he knows the rules. The barber comes. The youth lock goes. You're a Telemani, a captor, the first tier, the bottom rung of a very tall ladder, but a rung. Your feet are on it. The costume is modest, plain cotton armor, basic sandals. A shield that marks your status exactly, which is to say low. You're not permitted certain colors, not permitted certain ornaments. Rank here isn't something you're born into. It's something you demonstrate capture by capture. Every piece of equipment is a resume you wear on your body. Everyone can read it. Everyone does. That night, back at the barracks, a man sits down next to you without asking. He's older than you by maybe 15 years. Lean, dark green Tlahuistli with geometric patterns that you can read well enough to know he's taken at least 10 prisoners. There's a thin cord around his left wrist, strung with tiny jade beads. 6 of them, each one slightly different in color. He sees you looking. One for each capture that changed something in me, he says. Not every capture changes something. Most are just work. He taps the darkest bead. This one was a man from Cholula who sang while I fought him. Sang the whole time. I still hear it. His name is Marcus. He doesn't ask yours. Rank 3, Quextacatl, 2 captives. Your second capture earns you the Tlahuistli, black and red, fitted, a conical hat and sandals. You're no longer barefoot on the field. It sounds like a small thing. It isn't. Bare feet on obsidian-strewn ground is the difference between being a warrior and being someone the city lets stand near warriors. The sandals mean the city has decided you belong. Marcus finds you after the ceremony. He's sharpening his Makua Huitl on a piece of volcanic stone. The scraping sound rhythmic and deliberate. He doesn't look up when he talks. 2 is when they start watching, he says. Not the warriors, the priests. You ask what that means? He keeps sharpening. It means you're no longer invisible. Invisible was safer, but invisible doesn't get you the eagle suit. He holds up his wrist. 7 beads now. You didn't notice the new one. Huexotzinco, he says. Last week, he was young. Reminded me of someone. He doesn't say who. Rank 4, Papalotl, 3 captives. The Butterfly Warrior. The third capture is the one that costs you something you can't repair afterward. The man fights well. He fights better than you, actually, for about the first 30 seconds. He cuts your forearm with a stone blade he was hiding in his offhand. Not a legal weapon, not part of the convention, and the cut is deep enough that blood soaks through your cotton armor and makes the Makua Huitl handle slick. You take him anyway. Adrenaline and training and something darker than both. When you bind his hands, your blood drips onto his back. The priests watching from the elevated ground don't react to the cut. They react to the capture. You're awarded the butterfly banner, the papalotl, a wooden frame worn on the back, rising above your head, painted gold and orange. You wear it in the next ceremony, and children point at you in the street. Your mother sees you from across the plaza, and her face does something complicated. Pride in something else you pretend not to see. Marcus notices the cut healing wrong. He brings you a poultice made from something that smells like a swamp. The fourth one is different, he says while you hold the cloth to your arm. 4 is the eagle, 4 is the jaguar, 4 is when they stop asking what you can become and start telling you what you are. He rolls a new jade bead between his fingers. Not yet strung. I took my 4th in a campaign against Mixtec towns in the south. Walked into the Eagle Warrior house 3 days later. Walked out different. Not better. Different. He strings the bead. Doesn't say anything else for a long time. Rank 5, Quahotzalotl, 4 captives. Eagle Warrior. The 4th capture earns you initiation into the Eagle Warriors. The Quatli. You've earned it. The ceremony happens in the Eagle Warrior house near the Great Temple. There's cutting and blood offerings, and the investiture of the suit itself. The helmet goes over your head. You look out through the open beak. You remember being 12 and watching the Eagle Warriors in the market and the want that lived under your sternum. The helmet is heavier than it looks. Everything is heavier than it looks. The suit changes how people move around you. That part you expected. What you didn't expect was how it changes how you move through yourself. There's a posture that comes with it. Not forced, not performed. It arrives on its own after about 2 weeks. That ease, that particular quality of not requiring the room's approval because you stopped needing approval around the time you took your 3rd prisoner, and the need just quietly left. But the Eagle Warrior responsibilities expand beyond combat. You're assigned to temple duties now, ceremonial appearances, standing witness at rituals you once watched from the crowd. The first time you're required to attend a sacrifice at the Templo Mayor, you stand in the 2nd row of warriors flanking the steps. The prisoner is led up. He's painted blue and he doesn't resist. The obsidian knife opens his chest and the priest holds the heart to the sun and the crowd below roars. And you stand there in your eagle suit and you watch. You've captured men who ended up on those steps. The logic is internally consistent. The universe runs on debt, and the debt runs on blood. You've heard the priests explain it since you were old enough to stand in a temple. You don't question the logic. You live inside it the way you live inside the smell of the lake. But the eagle mask begins to feel less like armor and more like a job description, and removing it is no longer an option you're offered. Marcus is there too, 2 rows ahead. His face is completely still. Afterward, walking back through the city, you ask him if it gets easier. He looks at you sideways. Easier isn't the word, he says. He touches the jade cord. There are 9 beads now. Every bead is a person. Every person had a name I decided not to learn. He pauses. The ones I did learn are the ones I don't keep beads for. You don't ask why? Rank 6. Otomies, 5 to 6 captives. Elite warrior, your 5th and 6th captures come in the same campaign season. A conquest push toward the Gulf Coast. You're moving through the ranks fast enough that older warriors have started treating you with the particular respect that is indistinguishable from resentment. Your hair is bound with a red ribbon now. Your shield carries the 4 crescent patterns of the Otomies, named after the fierce tribe the Aztecs once fought and respected enough to honor with imitation. You carry a full-sized macuahuitl and a xopili banner on your back, and when you walk into a village at the head of a formation, people kneel. Marcus is on the same campaign. He's been assigned as a training advisor, not a frontline combatant, which should mean he's past the age of active fighting. But during a skirmish against a coastal garrison, the left flank breaks, and Marcus steps into the gap with his macuahuitl like it's something he's been waiting to do all week. He takes 2 prisoners in 10 minutes. When it's over, he's breathing hard, and there's a cut along his jawline, and he looks more alive than you've seen him in months. That night, he strings 2 new beads, 11 total. I should stop, he says, looking at the cord. But the cord still has room. He laughs. It's the first time you've heard him laugh. It doesn't sound like a happy noise. Rank 7, Quauchiquaish, the Shorn Ones. Supreme, rank your 28, 12 captures. You're offered the final initiation. The Quauchique, the Shorn Ones. The highest warrior rank a man without noble blood can achieve. You shave everything but a single braid on the left side of your skull. You wear the yellow tlahuizli. You paint your face half blue, half red, and you take the vow. Never retreat. Not one step in any battle, under any conditions, for any reason, forward or dead. There's no third option. The Shorn Ones are the shock troops. First into every battle, last to leave if they leave at all. The vow isn't symbolic. Warriors who break it are executed by their own side. You've seen it once. A Shorn warrior took 2 steps backward during an engagement near Oaxaca, and his own commander put a spear through his back before the enemy could touch him. 2 steps. That's the margin. That's the contract. Marcus comes to your ceremony. He's the only person there who doesn't look proud. He waits until the others have left, and then he sits next to you the same way he did the first night at the barracks, without asking. How many beads now? You ask. He holds up the cord. 14. I stopped giving them to the ones that changed something, he says. Now I give them to the ones I want to remember before I stop remembering. You ask him what that means. He looks at the cord for a long time. They've asked me to fight in the next Xochiaoyotl, he says, against Tlaxcala, the formal kind. Equal numbers, matched ranks. They want experienced warriors. I told them I'd go. He rolls the cord between his fingers. I'm too old to be doing this, but the cord still has room. As he touches the darkest bead, the one from the man who sang. I never told you what he sang, he says. It was a harvest song, the kind women sing when they bring in the corn. He was singing it while I was trying to capture him, and I almost stopped fighting because it was so strange and so beautiful and so completely wrong for the moment. He wraps the cord back around his wrist. That's the bead I touch the most. Not because he changed me, because I changed him. He's in the wall now, in the Tzompantli. He stands up. Good luck with the yellow suit. It looks heavy. He walks away. That's the last time you speak to him. The Flower War happens 3 weeks later. You're not in it. The Shorn Ones are held in reserve for conquest campaigns, not ceremonial battles. You hear the results that evening. 14 Aztec warriors captured, 31 Tlaxcalans taken. Standard numbers. Nobody mentions names. Nobody has to. You go to the Tzompantli wall 4 days later. It takes you an hour to find it. A jade cord, 14 beads, looped around a wooden post between two skulls. The darkest bead is facing outward, like he positioned it there himself, like it was the last thing he did with his hands. You untie the cord, you hold it. 14 small stones, each one a person with a name someone decided not to learn. 14 small decisions to remember instead of forget. You tie it around your own wrist, next to your yellow sleeve. It doesn't fit right. It wasn't made for your wrist. You wear it anyway. The drums start again the next morning. Another campaign, another formation. You check your sandal ties twice. They've never come loose. You check them anyway. The only direction is forward. It always has been. But the cord on your wrist pulls slightly to the left with every step, as if something attached to it hasn't quite decided which way to go.